Part of me never thought that it would actually happen, but it just did. In the most recent Super Smash Bros. Direct, we got the reveal of King K. Rool. The King of the Kremlings is a playable character in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I was so excited upon the reveal, and I still am, but I've taken some time to calm down a little bit, and I'm going to try to focus today on the real importance of King K. Rool's inclusion. In this video, I'm going to share with you 3 reasons why I believe that King K. Rool's inclusion in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is one of the most important in the entire history of the series. To begin, for the first point, I want to talk about how this is really good for hardcore Nintendo fans, and it shows more than ever that Sakurai and the team are really listening to what the fans want. I find this really doesn't happen enough with video game studios, listening to what fans are clamoring and requesting for. And I get that it takes a long time to develop a Super Smash Bros. Character, but when we never ended up getting King K. Rool or Ridley or any of the most highly requested characters as some of the Smash 4 DLC, fans got really disappointed. But I did have some faith in Sakurai that we would be getting at least a couple of those characters that fans really wanted to see in the next edition of the game. Now, I definitely didn't expect that game to be coming out so soon, as in this year, but it's happening. And I sort of got the feel that they were going to be listening to fans a lot more upon the Ridley reveal, as probably did anybody. The most requested character, I think beyond anybody, to be in Smash Bros. Was Ridley. All the memes came out, Ridley's too big, he's not going to be included. Well, he actually did. And now, King K. Rool is just the icing on top of the cake. This really shows more than ever that Sakurai and the team are giving the fans exactly what they want. Simon Belmont is another character that fans really requested for, but that's third party, and I'm going to focus on him in another video. This character, however, is one of the characters from Nintendo's past. This is a Nintendo vet. Just like Ridley, he's a character who maybe the most casual type of gamer probably hasn't heard of. They probably don't really know too much about King K. Rool, his lore, and the games that he comes from. But hardcore Nintendo fans, the ones that have been lobbying for his inclusion, they really know. They are the ones who have played those games. They experience the character in-game format. They know the value that he brings to his games that he's included in, what a great villain that he is. And now, because of all those requests and the fans really continuing to push for this character, he's here. And it really is important for the Nintendo fans, the hardcore ones who have been sticking with this push for King K. Rool as well as Ridley from the beginning, and it's just amazing. The second reason why it's so important why King K. Rool is included in Smash Bros. Is it really accomplishes 2 things with balancing out the Smash Bros. Roster a little bit. This is sort of the case for Ridley, but not exactly. What happened after Smash 4 is many fans realized that, okay, this Smash Bros. Roster is pretty good, but what do we need more of? Villains and heavyweights. That's the general consensus. And what does King K. Rool classify under? A villain and a heavyweight. He is really accomplishing and killing 2 birds with 1 stone with his inclusion in this game. Ridley is definitely a heavyweight as well, however he's definitely not one of the slow characters in the cast and is seeming to be much faster than many people anticipated. After all, he does have wings and he's a pretty large character, so you'd sort of expect him to move a little bit faster. King K. Rool, on the other hand, definitely doesn't look to be that way. So this also goes along with the first point, listening to the fans. They're understanding what we really needed in the Smash Bros. Roster. No, I'm not talking about the removal of Bayonetta. I'm talking about these balances and these things that have been lacking. We really had Bowser, Ganondorf, a couple of others, and that's a pretty staggering low number for heavyweights. We needed more of them, and now we're getting them. And King K. Rool really adds to it, and this is definitely a good thing for the future of Smash. And number 3, the biggest reason, is it gives hope for the future of this character. I saw a little bit of hope for King K. Rool when he was referenced in Super Mario Odyssey with a bunch of other Donkey Kong characters as the names of streets, but I never really thought that he was going to be included in the main game again. Especially since the last game he was included in was 10 years ago, and it wasn't even a Donkey Kong game, it was Mario Super Sluggers, and while it's one of my favorite games of all time, and I believe it's one of the most underrated Mario games in the entire series, Most people haven't experienced it, and most people, it's probably really not their thing, a Mario baseball game, but that's the last game that King K. Rool appeared in. King K. Rool was also in DK Jungle Climber, and that was the last Donkey Kong game that he actually appeared in. And that was over 10 years ago, so it's been a long time since we've seen him in a main role in a game. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze shook things up, introduced a new villain, and I thought maybe for when they were porting it over to the Nintendo Switch after that Super Mario Odyssey little reference that they were going to implement King K. Rool in. Maybe not entirely take out the villain that's existing in that game, but they could have possibly included another section with King K. Rool, but no, they didn't. Nintendo didn't want to include King K. Rool in Tropical Freeze, and I thought that it was done for him. If this villain is not being included in any new games in his series, he's probably just going to remain in the past. But no, this is an exception to that. The amount of fan requests for King K. Rool, I think, could spark the internal revival of this character, and possibly for this new Donkey Kong game that could be developing for the future. There hasn't been any announced or anything like that right now, but I'm sure there's definitely one in the pipeline. And for this next one, because King K. Rool is being included in Smash, and this allows for extra promotion for the Donkey Kong series, you'd bet that King K. Rool could definitely have a role in that game, like he's had in the past. In the Smash Bros. Direct, we got a good look at King K. Rool's moveset, but if you want to hear my speculation about what his moveset could have been, you should check out the Smash concept video that I made dedicated to King K. Rool. A lot of you were commenting on that, letting me know that he was revealed for the game, and it's definitely an exciting thing. There's going to be more Smash Ultimate videos coming very soon about the other new characters that were revealed, as well as some of the other features and all that good stuff, and I'll see you next time.